So we do have a question from YouTube, and this is Aussie C. She says, she says, is that because of free will? How should you question, how should you, maybe I'm not seeing the full chat, something, let me see. How should you rephrase the question so that the question is not fate-based? Interesting.
Oh, when you're talking about a relationship?
Yeah.
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 Because I think I like that question, because I think a lot of the times you find people that'll come to you and ask, should I?
Right.
You know, that I always direct them to the same thing, that's akin to walking up to a person and just asking them, hey, should I go left or right? Where do you want to go? What is it that you're wanting?
That's really, that's great.
And like, I think once you have that, it becomes kind of a lot clearer and easier to know what it is that needs to come through for them.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when you have a question about, like, am I going to have this person come into my life? Am I going to have, like Maurice was saying, the should I or shouldn't I? For myself, I usually just, I tell people I can see things that could happen.
Right.
Like, I can't predict a specific future because you have free will.
Right.
So, like, I have done a reading where this girl had this emotional connection to this guy, and I knew that he did not have the same. And she was saying, well, is there someone? And I could see in my head, I could see a someone. And I said, so I do see someone. I do actually see someone, but you won't be able to see him unless you release this person. Because if we have our head down and you're so focused on this person who is not focused on you, you're not going to see that person. You're not going to see what's coming for you.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I did see someone, but whether or not she's going to make that connection, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so if you have those questions, I would say ask them however you want to ask them. And then if you have a good medium or psychic, they're going to know how to answer.
Right. And well, and the important thing too is to remember a good psychic will ask what is for your highest and best good. We can only guide you to, to see the right path. We can set you on the right path, but it is for you to make that connection and for you to move forward with it. So, a lot of the time if somebody says, this is what's going to happen to you, be concerned, because that's really not how intuitive or psychic or mediumship works. It's merely here to guide you and to give you, the possibilities. So,
right.
Yeah.
I agree. But I mean, like, anyone can come and ask whatever question they want, of course. Because that's why you're coming. But I think that's up to us to kind of like navigate that and be like, okay, so I do see someone, but the question is, will you,
Right.
Yeah. The other thing is to be open, receptive, as and I'm sure we all have had the person who comes to us, the sitter, who sits there with their arms folded, who asks you the question, and then first of all, my advice is when you go and you're going to sit with, a medium or a healer or a channel, that you want to be open and receptive, because otherwise what you're really saying is, test me. If your arms are like this and you're saying, oh, come on, go ahead, give me your best shot, but I'm not going to make it easy. And so you bring all this great, you're trying to bring all this great information and do it. And then they're going, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And that's where like the evidence is supposed to be. That's the whole theory behind evidence and why it's to bring in and to prove evidentially that you're bringing it in. And that's where like I like, those who know me, I like the story, so I like to bring in the story of the person, because here comes Grandpa. He smells, the smelling one, the one that, he's been sneaking up and drinking that beer, Grandma's not looking, and he wants to tell you, and then using the story, and suddenly, I'm going, he wants to tell you, don't hide who you are. If people don't like you just as you are, then don't hide it. And it's like we went from evidence to bam. And I love that. And then suddenly you got the tears coming, and they're going, yeah, I really do. I love my grandpa, you know, or it's just amazing how it works, you know. But it's like, yeah, it's be open to what you're going to be received, but don't buy it hook, line, and sinker. If it doesn't feel right, then don't go out and sell your house tomorrow because the medium told you to.